It's your boy Infinite Gains back with another update video. Today we're going to be going over the broader market, and we're also going to be going over AMC and GME as well. But we do have some data coming up. So a pretty nifty tool that you can kind of use is this website called Forex Factory, and it kind of just gives you a lot of important data points in Forex. But I mean, we click on calendar, and then we can see this week, August 4th to August 10th. So we'll just go to the next one for next week, and we can see that we have a bunch of red folders. So these are actually categorized on impact to the market. So these like yellow ones, not that much impact. These orange ones, a little bit more impact, and these red folders, like really high impact. So as you can see on Tuesday, August 13th, and then August 14th on Wednesday. So Tuesday we're going to be getting core PPI numbers, and then on Wednesday, 8:30, we're going to be getting core PPI month over month, CPI, and then CPI month over month, and CPI year over year. So these are pretty big numbers that are coming on Wednesday. And so this is, I mean, obviously, so probably a big volatile move is going to come Tuesday and Wednesday, to kind of, it's like kind of a heads up. So you can kind of see here, we're on the 10-year government bonds. We have this kind of double top pattern here, and then you kind of broke this trend. And so, I mean, this is a breakdown of bonds. Now, the problem is, if we miss on these numbers, if we do get bad CPI data, maybe the Fed is kind of thinking about rate cuts. And that'll probably say, bonds yields are probably going to be going down because, rate cut would be good for the market. Now, that's not necessarily true. You could actually get a rate cut and then the market crashes. I mean, it's like there's so many different other factors in play here, and it's like not necessarily like, oh, rate cut, oh, market boom, buy the dip or whatever. It's not really how it works. These things are lagging. They don't have instant effects. So it's not like, you just do a rate cut and everything's fine again. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. So we are on the 15-minute, 10-year bonds. We do have this kind of bear flag action going on here. That's pretty simple. I don't know. I mean, honestly, you've kind of broken down out of it already. We'll give it a little bit of leeway. Or whatever. I don't know. But, I mean, you do have this kind of bear flag action here. So, Treasury bonds, government bonds go down. You rejected twice off this is your 20 SMA. You're below your 200, 100, and 50. So, I mean, things in the short term aren't looking especially good. If we go to the 2-year, okay, we're already on bonds, so let's go to the 2-year. Let's go to the 2-year bonds. Yeah, pretty similar scenario. You get this rejection off all your SMAs here coming down, and then you have this just kind of bear pennant flag action happening here. So, I mean, yeah, bonds could continue lower. We're looking at SPY. If we go here, we did break down, and then you're also going to see, this is the 4-hour, but you're seeing a cross down with the daily, your daily 20 SMA is crossing down below your 50 here, right? So that's bearish as well. This is your 100 SMA, and then this is your 200. So, I mean, as you can see, we've this entire rally above the 200 SMA, you've kind of stayed above your 20, your 50, and your 100, and now we've just recently slipped below. So this could be a short-lived kind of rally where you see the SPY kind of try to recover to this gap fill right here, and you have this trend. You have this trend resistance here. Let me just delete all this, kind of messy. So you do have like this kind of trend resistance here. You could see SPY, you know, try to come up, recover, but then you have price action kind of dipping below, crossing down below its SMAs. You hit resistance, fill the gap, and then you can continue down. So I would be looking for the gap fill, and then I would be looking for a break of the 100 SMA. I think if you break the 100 SMA again, you're probably cooked. So this is a 15-minute price action here. So I'd just be looking at that gap fill and then a break of the 100 SMA if we do continue down. But I mean, pay attention to the data. I mean, if we miss on these data points, it's probably not going to be very good. You're probably going to go down and test the 200 SMA. And if we do test the 200 SMA, I mean, you kind of zoom out here. That's pretty big. You know, it's most of the time it's you come up and you test the 200 as support, and then you basically just have these huge kind of rallies. And then when you break down, it's kind of like a knife. You know, you kind of knife down pretty much every time you break that 200. So I'd be watching that. If we come down and test the 200 SMA, I mean, you could really knife. You know, we had the situation with Japan, with the Taiwan and all these kind of failures, and we had that mini market crash, and people kind of just were like, whatever, we kind of just forgot about it. Like, that didn't really happen. Like, that was, we woke up in the middle of the night and like, everything was going to shit, and now it's like, oh no, buy the dip. No, it's all good, man, just buy the dip. Like, I don't know, the second half of that could be coming. I think that was kind of a symptom of a bigger problem, kind of like a little, the water's receding before a tsunami comes in, if you know what I mean. So I mean, honestly, yeah, let's look at, if we go to Forex, you can look at USD JPY. Right, so this is on the 4 hour. I mean, you've essentially broken through your 200 SMA here, which is pretty devastating. And then you're also creating this kind of bearish pattern here, this kind of bear flag thing here as well. So you could head even lower. Right, we have, right, I mean, here, boom. I mean, you could head even lower. The Japanese yen is just suffering. So yeah, this is just, I don't know. This is honestly not very good. It's just, let's take a look at Nvidia. I mean, the market looks like it's kind of trying to turn down and trying to give us a hint, like, hey, that wasn't a joke. That wasn't just a little, whatever, a little market crash. Like, that was, that was for real. And things could get much worse. Let me load this chart for Nvidia. Nvidia stock, boom. Here, oh man, okay, what's going on here? I think I have to fix this. Something happened with the chart. Whatever. These honestly aren't as important. We can just hide all this. We can just hide all the channels here. We'll just hide all the channels for now. But you can see that. We'll delete this as well. Alright, so yeah, we had these rejections off these channels here that you can see that we've been tracking. I mean, go watch my previous Nvidia videos and you'll get a better picture. Like, go back to my like really original Nvidia videos, like scroll down, and I think I have a playlist on my YouTube channel, but go watch those videos and you'll kind of see like where these channels kind of come from. But you are trying to break below your 100 SMA on Nvidia. Your 20 has crossed below your 50 SMA here. If we zoom in to the 15 minutes, let's zoom in. All right, we do see that this this channel is acting as support here. So what are we looking at? Well, I mean, you're right on the 100 SMA, right? It's trying to recover. I mean, look actually where it closed. I mean, exactly right under that 100 SMA, and that's not a coincidence. I think Nvidia and the Mag 7, you know, a bunch of big other stocks, Apple, Microsoft, you know, Google, they're on this kind of tightrope where we're kind of waiting on data. We're kind of waiting on, you know, what the Fed is saying. We're kind of waiting on, you know, what's happening with kind of the rest of the world. And I don't think that's a coincidence that you're kind of closed on this 100 SMA before big data comes Tuesday and Wednesday. So, I mean, really pay attention to the data. But I think this could get, you know, much worse here. You are kind of trading in this little channel right here. That's pretty obvious, right? So you are trading in this kind of channel. So this could be a rejection point, and that would be pretty bad. You'd come down, probably knife through this channel, and then that would put you at the 200 SMA, and that's all the way at $80. And this is kind of the target that we've been targeting the whole time. I think that it can actually get much worse than $80, but that was kind of our initial target at the 200 SMA. So that's what I would kind of be looking for. Hey, if we dip below, if we get a rejection here, you know, at this 100 SMA, things could get very ugly. You can knife all the way to the 200, and then things could get much uglier from there. If you knife below that 200, that's pretty much GG's. You're pretty much cooked at that point, because then you'll have a much larger corrective move. I mean, down to even $60, right? And you have horizontal support right in this area, so that's around, you know, $50 even. So that would put you in that $50-$60 range, where you have kind of one of these, right? You have one of these right here, and you have this very kind of large corrective move to the downside. So, I mean, this is a very pivotal moment for Nvidia. You do want to see us hold above that 100 SMA, but I mean, you could really knife to the 200. So pay attention to the data that comes out Tuesday, Wednesday. Pay attention to the 100 SMA. And then watch my previous videos and try to look at the channels that I have kind of provided, like, you know, price levels there. But I mean, things could get very, very interesting. So what does that have to do with GME and AMC? In my opinion, really nothing. I mean, yeah, GameStop does kind of, you know, follow the broader market. You know, when we saw that mini crash, you know, GME went all the way down to the 200 SMA at about $17.60. So I'm not saying that, you know, it isn't, you know, that the broader market can affect it, but, you know, people are kind of saying, no, a short squeeze isn't possible in a bear market, or these conditions have to be met. I mean, guys, GME is doing its own thing, right? GME and AMC are meme stocks, right? They don't really have to have the permission of the broader market. These things are purely manipulated, right? So, I mean, Mag 7 market, S&P 500 crash, that doesn't matter. GME could still moon while all that's happening, right? You know, but it may even be a bullish sign, honestly, because then you have kind of sectors, kind of, you know, like, you know, sectors in the broader market that's kind of, you know, extracting liquidity. It's kind of extracting volatility that can be pushed into things like meme stocks and you know, like meme tokens and stuff like that. So, I mean, that could actually be an even bullish sign. But, you know, again, with GME and AMC, kind of the same thing as my previous videos. I know this video is probably longer than most, but I mean, same thing, guys. I mean, we zoom in, so we have this trend line here. We zoom in to the 5 minutes, and we scroll like this. We kind of have like this like little wedge thing that we're kind of trading in. So that would be kind of awesome. We'd be able to break through, here. And then kind of my next target is your 20 and your 50 SMA. So your 50 is all the way at $25. So GME's next target is $25. But I'm just telling you right now, this thing is kind of looking primed. And you look here as well. So you've kind of broken out of this channel, right? So you did have a channel here. I'll change the color to, we'll just make it red so you can kind of see the difference here. But so this line right here, actually, if we go to the 15 minutes, so you can kind of just see here, like what we're kind of looking at is this, right? So this just huge, big ass triangle that we've been trading in for months. That's actually what that line is, this orange line here. So if we zoom into the 5 minutes, you can kind of see that, hey, we've actually already broken through that level, right? So, but you had a channel here, right? You had a channel here that you also broke through, so that's pretty good as well. And you have this kind of wedge pattern up here, but you should next week, if we don't shoot to at least $25, I'll be pretty confused. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be like, what the hell is going on? I don't really understand what's happening, because you just bounced off the 200 SMA. You just hit such a discount level, fake out level, that you should really be seeing a lot of volatility going into the next few weeks. So if we don't see a pretty large move in the next 2 weeks, I'm kind of just like, what's kind of going on here? We kind of have to reassess what's happening. So I don't know. I don't do dates. I don't do like, hey, you need a YOLO weekly options or some shit. I don't do that. Right, that's not how I operate, but I'm just saying, I don't know. If something doesn't happen in the next 2 weeks where we get at least a move to like $30 or something like that, like I'm gonna be pretty confused. AMC, kind of the same thing, right? So GME's a little bit less clear about how you can kind of drag on. It's like, something has to kind of happen in GME. AMC, yeah, maybe you could drag on, maybe you could see how, because you do have a lot of this pennant left. Like if we kind of zoom out 15 minutes here, you can kind of see the pennant, and like, yeah, you do have some room left, but you also have to think your SMAs are so close, and this is kind of what we've been tracking. We've been tracking pretty much every day is this 15 or 20 SMA, because we've just been bouncing between it over and over and over and over again. So this is pretty like, man, it's just like, what's going on here? You do actually have this kind of head and shoulder pattern here. It's not pretty, but it does work. So what could potentially happen? Okay, that looks kind of weird. Okay, that's just a joke. Okay. But what could happen is you could hopefully you bounce off your 50 SMA, and then your 20 SMA should shoot up above your 200, and then you should shoot up and test the top of this trend line, and I'm pretty sure that would just be like game over, GG, because if you break out of this pennant while simultaneously being above your 200, it's pretty much over at that point. I just don't see what else could really happen. You look at AMC's kind of price history here, and this 200 SMA point has been pretty huge for price action, because this entire time you're kind of trapped below it. And then kind of when MOA started in 2021, that was whenever you're able to shoot up and break above it. Then when you fell below, you kind of just, that was kind of just your rejection point, even your rejection point right before this huge fall from, $50 all the way down to $7. So that was kind of your nail in the coffin point, was this 200 SMA. And now we're retesting it to the upside. So that's a pretty big deal. This really hasn't happened since 2021, and we all know what happened then. So, and we got this fake out to the 100 SMA. I don't know. Things are looking pretty good for the next couple weeks. So I'm ready. I'm ready for all this to be over. And people have kind of been asking for kind of macro targets. I would just go to my previous videos. I've kind of beat it to death. I've tried to just nail in my targets in previous videos, and I've like done a lot of different variations with like Elliott wave, kind of Wyckoff, kind of like things like that. But I would say around $70 to $130 would be kind of my targets, because let's just create this little simple trend line here. So you'll probably see resistance here. And then you had like this was like kind of your trend line here down, right? So you have these two trend lines down, and this is kind of like a replication of what happened in 2021, right? So you had this downtrend, and you're stuck below this trend line here. And then MOAS occurred, and you broke below, flagged above it, and then peaked out. So this is kind of just a replication of 2021. Now that would get you to some pretty crazy price targets, right? Because you'd shoot up, kind of like do this kind of action, and you're looking at the chart on a macro level, and it actually doesn't even look that crazy. Like, it doesn't even look that crazy, does it? Okay, but honestly, that would probably be much later if you're trying to go for these crazy price targets. People were talking about, a $1,400 price target, which is possible if you look at it as this just like huge kind of megaphone pattern. Here you're kind of bouncing off of this downtrend, and then you're shooting all the way up. I mean, that doesn't even get you to 1,400. I mean, that does get you to probably an all-time high and like these crazy price targets. Look, in my opinion, you should have a bag. You should have a bag secured. You're not even worried about what AMC or GME is doing above like 70. Like, if AMC goes to $130 and you don't have a bag secured, I can't help you. Like, there's no YouTube video, there's no message I could send in the Discord that could help you. Like, if you're trying to hold out for the absolute peak, like if you're trying to hold out for $1 million GME or some shit, I can't help you at that point. Like, I've given you kind of macro targets. Like, we have targets at, let's say, the gap fill. So you have a gap fill like 43. Then you have like this horizontal resistance at like $130 here. So like you have horizontal resistance at $130. And then then you have the peak in 2021 right here at like around $100. I've given you levels off of Elliott wave, that we can kind of look at. Like, let's just look at there. So this one's GME. I mean, look, I'm trying to give you guys levels, like watch my previous videos and stuff, but like, let's be real. Like, you should have a plan to take profit. All right, you should have a plan to take profit. Like, you shouldn't be holding out for these just absolutely insane price levels, because you could get screwed, right? They could pull something weird on us where like they pump it, to like several $100s, and then they just dump it, and then it doesn't do shit for like 6 months, and then the final, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something like that could happen. Like, really think about that, right? They could pull some kind of trick on us where it does some crazy shit that we weren't expecting, right? And you're kind of, okay, well, you just missed out on life-changing money because you were trying to be greedy or something. Like, don't be greedy. Have a system to profit take on the way up. Yeah, if you want to allocate, some kind of percentage of your portfolio trying to hold, for these crazy price targets, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not even trying to tell you what to do with your portfolio. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying, have a system in place. I'm trying to give you price targets and stuff, but honestly, no one's actually going to know what it's going to look like until it happens, right? So that's just kind of what I'm saying. That's pretty much the whole video. Yeah, kind of the broader market looks ready to kind of turn down. I mean, that's just kind of what I'm seeing. We've gone over a lot of different things: Nvidia, bonds, JPY, Japanese yen, So yeah, I mean, just pay attention to the data that comes out Tuesday, Wednesday. Broader market looks like it's kind of churning down. Unless it can kind of just recover, unless we get kind of good data that comes out Tuesday, Wednesday, and market kind of is able to bounce. But it does look like the broader market's kind of turning down. And then you're also seeing kind of GME and AMC are kind of ready to kind of push higher in the next few weeks. And that's just what I'm kind of seeing, and that's pretty much the whole video. I don't want to drag this out any longer. I've kind of been rambling on, but that's pretty much it. Just kind of wanted to update you guys before Monday. Yeah, let's just keep on waiting like we have, and just the day's gonna come. The day's gonna come, and the payoffs is gonna be there, and it's just a waiting game at this point for me. So this whole video, appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to join the Discord. Discord is in the it's in my bio. It's in the description. And make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you think I'm providing any value. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.